DDE just took over Hoonigan's headquarters. Stefan, have you seen the videos yet?
No. What's even happening?
Okay. Long story short.
Wait. One question. Did they ever announce that?
Hoonigan?
Yeah.
I don't
they were
think
leaving
so.
the building. They just bounced.
No, they just moved
and maybe
out.
they did.
Weird.
I wish I had more information on that, but
That's weird.
this is part of what the discussion was last time, where they got purchased by Wheel Pros. They moved on. It seems like everything's just been quietly just moved on. So no, there wasn't, from what I understand, there wasn't a big video talking about, hey, we're leaving this headquarters, we're doing something else. I assume that was just an expense that was heavier than it needed to be for a bigger company to really need or care about. So they just kind of swept it under the rug and was done with it. But that meant that the building was vacant. And so DDE made a video where they went and they toured it and they signed a sublease, meaning Hoonigan, I think, is still on the lease. But I'm sure they were only there for 2 years. And so for them to move on, I think they were still contractually obligated. So DDE came in and took over at $35,000 a month.
They had to outbid other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. They were
Honestly,
in like a bidding war.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you just talk about for a second, that's like a smart move on their part?
Oh,
just to
it's-
take a piece of automotive history and
It's
like
huge. I think it's like
move right
probably
in.
the coolest thing that's happened on YouTube in a long time.
Well, I think the big thing for me was when I saw it, it's like, okay, here's DDE. They're taking over Hoonigan's building. Is that DDE like riding on the Hoonigan name? Is that saying like, oh, we just want to keep that gravy train going because it's already got a cool vibe going? But then you watch the videos, you start realizing like one thing I really respect about Damon is he's always been very like respectful and very like you can tell like Ken Block was a huge deal.
Inspiration,
For him.
yeah.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
And so one thing they ended up doing is they named the whole place instead of
So
renaming it. What was it called?
The Block.
Well, no, they named it the Block.
Yeah, the Block,
It used to
yeah.
be called
Burnyard.
the Burnyard,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
So they literally called the
Yeah.
entire building the Block, which I thought was super cool.
That's
They put
dope.
on the side of the wall. They tried to leave up some of the branding, but watching some of the videos, it just seems cool. Like they're obviously there's so much stuff they can do in the building. It's how many square feet?
30,000.
30,000 square feet.
It's a big boy.
But I think the big thing too is like the Burnyard is just like the ultimate go destroy tires. And who's the best brand at doing that? Like
Dude, it's DDE.
DDE
Yeah,
just
it is.
wrecked tires. which is
Yeah, I mean,
pretty
that's
cool.
what they do. They hoon. I mean, DDE is known for doing that. So I think it's such a good fit, too.
And the reception that I've seen from, and this is just based on our last video. I haven't seen any of the DDE videos or anything, but everybody seems stoked about it.
Yeah.
They're,
I know,
they're not
they're
like,
excited.
oh, like, you're just trying to be like Hoonigan, you're trying to be like, Ken Block or whatever. Everybody's like stoked. They're like,
Yep.
yeah, Hoonigan's kind of letting us down. Thanks for stepping up
Yeah.
and like, carrying, like taking the torch, That's dope.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are disappointed in what Hoonigan has become over the last several months with everyone leaving. That, like, this is kind of exciting. Yeah, like what you said.
Well, I think the thing that's
keep it
crazy
going.
is when Wheel Pros bought Hoonigan, I didn't know this before, and I started doing more research based on our last video, and it's like Wheel Pros rebranded as Hoonigan, meaning Wheel Pros name is gone. And I didn't realize, are they just buying the name? And that's kind of the whole point. So the stuff they're doing, the Burnyard, doing all the cool, crazy videos, like, is that part of the brand still? Do they need that? Do they care about that? Is that partially why these guys are kind of moving on? Maybe that's where their value was, just kind of being the reckless guys on camera having fun, but maybe Hoonigan is just more corporate. doesn't
Maybe
need
that's
them
why all
anymore.
those guys left. Yeah.
Obviously,
possible,
I'm not trying to
yeah.
speculate, but that's
Yeah,
just my thought.
We're all speculate all
Yeah, I
day.
mean, when you think about it, right? Like, they could have come to all those guys and said, like, hey, our plan is this. We're gonna, we're not gonna be here any longer. And then it just turns into, I don't want to be a part of this.
Do you want a desk job or do you want to go do your own thing?
it's not fun anymore.
Go
at that
have
point.
fun or go sit in this desk and get paid. You decide.
You know what I imagine? I imagine Wheel Pros is like you imagine you go to like the family barbecue and you see your grandpa and he's got a Hoonigan shirt and he's like, I like cars now.
Oh yeah.
that's like what Wheel Pro is. Like you see your grandpa at the next like family barbecue and he's got like a Ken Block hat on. He's like, I'm hip.
Doesn't even know who he is.
The thing that's crazy though, like the saying is like businesses are just people. Like Hoonigan, you saw for the most part who the people were. So to say that about Wheel Pros, it's like you don't really know. I'm sure they're all car guys. But
I'm sure
I
they
agree
are.
with
Yeah,
you.
that's full joke.
No, 100%. But I agree with you totally. But I'm sitting there thinking like businesses that are that scalable, they're that big. They've got so many different brands, so many different things. They're probably obviously car guys. But at what point does business become just the money versus like the fun? And so I think being reckless on camera just probably didn't make sense anymore. And maybe we're wrong. Maybe they're about to do some crazy stuff. But I think that's why it's cool. At first, with DDE taking over the warehouse, I was thinking, okay, like they're just riding their back. But I've seen a lot of people in the comments, like you're saying before, saying DDE is going to keep that spirit going.
I think they're gonna kill it.
And I think they're doing better already.
Oh yeah,
If you watch some of the videos, they are destroying that
dude.
place.
Daily vlogs.
Yeah, it's
It's to pay for that. It's to pay that $35,000 a month.
Well,
dude.
that's the thing that's
They
crazy
had to pay
about
up
YouTube.
front for a year, 12 months up front.
Wow.
Well, how much do you think their last space was, though? It was probably pretty close to that.
I don't know. I'm thinking
California?
like 15. I mean, we're
was
talking like
pro-
20
yeah.
grand more a
Maybe.
month. But
Yeah, it's definitely more. I mean, the thing is, it'll make them.
Yeah.
The thing that's crazy about DDE, this is the thing that I respect the crap out of them, is they are so diverse in where their content goes. Like if you look at some of their views on Facebook, they get insane views. They've got their main channel that they're posting, like you said, daily on, which they average like 22 to 23 million views a month on their main channel.
we're getting 500,000 a video now, like
Well,
minimum.
But the
you
thing
know?
that's funny is if the more you post, typically the less you're going to make. So if
Yeah,
you do two
right.
to three every 2 or 3 days, those views will get a little bit higher. And the thought process behind that is okay, more views per video means more brand deals, which means more brand money per video. And so I think for long story short, when James and I started doing every other day for all of October of 22, the views got down to like 700,000, 800,000, kind of hovered there the entire month. So it was like, okay, brand deals are going to be lower. Let's just jump back to every 3 days. That kind of helped bring the views
Bring
back
it
up.
back up, yeah.
So DDE, it's like you look at their per view count, it's definitely lower per video, but it's like overall the course of the month, it's way more views. And that's
Yeah,
just on
it's
one channel.
crazy.
Their other channel does like 10 million views a month.
It's crazy.
So
and the
affording
cool
that-
thing too is they have the stories channel. I don't know if you've watched their story side.
Yeah.
But when Dave was doing he was touring different like buildings for their next facility. It was so cool. That was like one of the coolest videos. I think when they like went and saw that building for the first time, and like Damon kind of got emotional about like the space and what it meant to him about Ken Block. It was really cool, man. Like
Yeah.
just seeing it all go down.
Well,
But
if you think about where YouTube's headed as well, like they need a place to go do some hooning, right?
100%.
They
In
need a
LA,
place to-
where else are you going to go?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's also, they're just doing it on public streets, which, I mean, they're great drivers, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you can't control that. If that's your business, you need a place to decide where you can go mess around, burn tires off. And so it makes total sense that they're there. Clearly, they don't need 30,000 feet at this point,
Yeah.
square feet at this point. You can see in the videos, they're trying to figure out where to stash stuff.
I think they're living there, dude. Low key.
You think so?
I do. Because in that one video, they were like, Dave was like, whoa, I didn't know all these offices were here. And you could see he was like, we don't have anywhere to stay when we're in the US.
gears were turning,
I was like,
dude.
that's definitely one of his bedrooms, dude. He's going to have a lock on it. And
Dude,
it's
it makes
closed,
sense.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
what
sure.
they're normally spending on hotels, they just spend it on their rent.
You know what's crazy is Mike, though. I think he was there with Hoonigan for a long time, and he's still riding out with DDE now.
Mike Essa?
Yeah. He was helping build
He was
for...
arguably the best
Dude.
addition to that channel
So
I have
good.
ever seen.
And kind of just in general, like the way that like that has grown, like DDE has grown to like, you know, just Damon and Dave. And for the longest time, it's just been Damon and Dave, but then they've slowly started
Yeah.
adding all these other characters,
Yep.
just like a Hoonigan, you know, not to
Yeah.
say that like DDE isn't like its own thing and own entity and like keep tying it back to Hoonigan, but like it's crazy. They've really built out like a cool
They
like,
have.
media company.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
yeah. I think it's gonna keep going too.
Well, with that Mike is so like,
Dude, he's a
just
boss.
so good on camera. He's so
Yeah.
funny, but he's also such a humble like character, right? Like
Yeah.
on camera, he's just being Mike. He's just being nice and just happy. But he's also got more skill than anybody on YouTube, probably. Period. When it comes to driving,
Yeah.
it's his knowledge on building mode. It's just fun to watch him. And I
lot,
think there's a
yeah.
lot of comments you can see about that. And I think they obviously understand that. And I don't think there's any weird egos where they're feeling like Mike's going to come take over DDE.
No.
like that's
Yeah.
not going to happen. They're just building.
There's a
that
lot of
thing as
respect there for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So that's been kind of fun to watch.
Yeah. No, it's really, really sick.
But $35,000 a month. I think
Up front for a year,
I
dude.
think to a lot of viewers on YouTube, that's just insane, right? That's a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start understanding YouTube money and feeling like, okay, what are these guys? Do you think they're actually making? And when you have like a better idea of how the space works with brand deals, view size, you start sitting there going, okay, they've got a big team. That's where a lot of their expenses going. But 35 grand a month, like that's a lot of money.
price of
But
some people's cars, dude.
I bet they make some serious money.
Yeah, like to put that in perspective for
Yeah.
people that like don't know like brand deals, like for their channel size and stuff, they're probably making a little bit more than that on a single brand deal in one YouTube
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
Maybe not quite. Maybe a 1.5. Maybe some deals are higher, but it's like that's right
Yeah.
around where
That's
a
probably
single-
pretty average
for a single brand deal?
A single brand deal. So like one video with one brand deal, like they paid for their warehouse.
Yeah, and
Which
then
is
it's also
crazy.
probably a write-off, right, for taxes.
Yeah.
Speculation, but
It's also cool too because it's like I don't know. You see, TJ Hunt got his facility. It's really cool, and then now it's just like super. It's just unexpected, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So when they saw that, it's like it's just cool to see where it's going to go.
Well, I think
you
the
know?
the big thing is people don't care about the cars as much as they used to. They
Yeah.
can see them everywhere, so it's like this whole new addition of like, oh, a warehouse space. I want to watch that turn into something cool.
Yep.
Still do car stuff inside of it, but it's like TJ Hunt's video where he got his warehouse, and it's like pretty
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
big and it's
It's
super
nice,
sick.
yeah.
But there's one video they just went and cleaned the backyard or like the back alley area.
Mm-hmm.
They just cleaned it. There's like some homeless encampment going on. They cleaned the moss off the walls of the power sprayer. And it was just like the most satisfying video that I've ever seen from him. And I don't know why, but it was like, I'm just watching him power spray dirt. And why is this more entertaining than cars right now? And so I think they've kind of captured the idea of just building and growth and just cars don't have to be the only thing on these channels anymore.
How long do you think Damon and Dave will be a part of DDE? Like, I'm just curious because it's like you can see them building. I mean, they're the main characters right now, right? But you know, I see them building this company, and it's like they're adding all these people. Mike is one of those people that could be a main
100%.
Up on their channel. I just wonder how long they'll actually be a part of the
well,
daily
they've already,
content.
They've already done videos like that where neither Dave or Damon
it's true.
are there.
It's true.
And the views are the exact same.
Yeah.
Half their thumbnails are Mike now.
Yeah, it's true. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think they're trying to phase that out a little bit. Yeah, transition it to like where they're the main characters and they have all these other side characters. Yeah. To these side characters are now the main characters, and then when they come into the videos, it's like, oh, what's up, Damon? You know, he's like, shows up.
They want to be home with their families too.
Yeah,
I think they live in Canada.
They've done it long. Like, that's what's crazy too.
It's wild.
You think about how much effort and time goes into daily vlogging. They've been doing every other day for however long, but now they're doing daily vlogs plus their other main channel. That's a ton of work in itself, but then also they're doing this by going to Canada for a week at a time. So it's like they're constantly, I mean, I don't know their schedule exactly, but they're always gone or they're always doing something else. So they've got an insanely impressive schedule of getting things, content out there. I feel like they never miss a day. They're just the content. Obviously that leads to what happened where they had to fake some content. Which I understand. I get it, but you know, it's
the
like,
leasing company.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I think just watching the video, it's like when you're part of YouTube enough, you just realize like that has to happen sometimes.
Yeah.
But the fact that they just owned it and just moved on, that was awesome, right? They're not trying to continue. No, it wasn't fake. It wasn't. Like they just were like, hey, sorry. They did the whole. Sorry about that.
We'll never do it again. Yeah.
Do you think it's like I don't know. Like, do you think it's just because they got caught? That like
100%,
like
100%.
Like I don't think that like the apology really means anything. Oh, you know, we want to be like true to you guys, loyal. Like, do you think like it'll probably happen again?
100% will happen again. No, maybe not.
Probably already did, and we don't know.
Yeah, not to that extent,
dude. And like I'm not pointing fingers, dude.
But
like,
I think
it's got to happen sometimes.
I think with their brand, it's not that outrageous. I think people have known that they just like sensationalize, get excited, but like so does everyone else. I think they just owned it when they got caught. But sure, they're probably going to fake more stuff, and I think a lot of big channels, I think a lot more people do that than anyone realizes.
Yeah.
But it's just that's not their like brand to just sit and like, no, I never like. I respect that he just kind of sat in front of the camera and sorry, we screwed up.
Yeah, they also said the cool thing too. Dave mentioned they might be building an indoor gas station. Did you see that?
Oh, like part of their
as like their merch shop. So they're gonna make this like this really cool area that you can like come in and overlook the cars and stuff. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to see what it actually gets built into.
Well, I think I watched one video. They're doing some K rails in the back, so they can like protect the fence and other people's.
Yeah, because they used to have the containers there.
Oh right.
With Hoonigan was there, like the shipping containers that used to be stacked
whole
up.
Barnyard is becoming like the outside's gonna have like K rail, so in case they like slide out or somebody does a donut and hits a fence, because they were saying that like the containers on the other side.
What's that? Was a K rail?
Oh, just like a like what you smashed your Corvette into.
Armco.
Oh my god.
Or whatever.
Yeah, ask him what it's called.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I know very well.
You saw
what
it
is.
face first.
It's a K rail.
How much are those?
It's $3,000 per 15-foot section.
Did you end up having to pay for it?
Yes,
Dude, his back was broke, and they were like, "How much? You're gonna pay this
By
much."
the way, you're gonna pay for this.
That's crazy.
You need me to quote out a K rail, friggin' Armco section for your house, dude. Your burn yard. Just hit me up.
Oh my gosh.